wants to be internet famous. I was definitely looking for that.
You were just one click away from your life being destroyed.
The United States labeled me as a terrorist for a tweet.
My ex-boyfriend posted nude pictures of me online, and it nearly cost me my life.
This woman threatened my child on Facebook, and I absolutely lost my mind.
You don't even know me. How can you want me to die so much?
I didn't post anything, and still, the internet spun my life out of control.
My name is Anne Marie. My ex-boyfriend posted nude pictures of me online, and it nearly cost me my life. In 2009, I was a college English professor. It's a single mom of 2 children. My ex-husband and I had just separated. I was readjusting to my new life when an ex-boyfriend from when I was in high school sent me a friend request on Facebook after 19 years of no contact. Right away, he said, I never forgot about you, and I always thought of you, and I had never forgotten him. And right away, the passion was back, and we decided to rekindle the relationship. He lived 3.5 hours away from me. At first, it was easy maintaining the long-distance relationship, but he would often lament how he missed being sexual when we were apart. So he started asking if I would let him take nude pictures of me. I said, no, absolutely not. There's no way. I couldn't imagine. He pressed, and he played the trust card. So when he was visiting once, I agreed. I didn't pose for the pictures. They're of literally me walking across the room to get my jeans. There's one of me holding up a pair of pantyhose because I'm looking for runs, and I just come out of the shower and have my hair wrapped in a towel. I was very adamant that these stay absolutely private and absolutely hidden. I never once thought he might use these against me one day. When we hit just about the 6-month mark in our relationship, he grew increasingly manipulative and possessive. It felt like a switch was flicked. He wanted to know what I was doing, when I was doing it, where I was going. He'd wonder what I was wearing, who my students were, how many male students I had. And he said I was dressing to seduce my students. He wanted to know, how many of them I had slept with. He said, I'm not really a college professor. I'm a college, level hooker. I just couldn't believe that he could be so cruel. He'd become unpredictable and completely irrational. And that was genuinely frightening. And it started to come together that I was in an emotionally abusive relationship. I needed to get out of this relationship fast. That's when I said, this is done. Pack your shit, you're going home. And he was livid. Then he sent a message, and he said, if you don't come back to me, I will auction off the CD on eBay, where he had saved the nude images that he had taken of me. He was so hurt that I had broken up with him that he was bound and determined to hurt me worse. And I begged him, please don't do this. You're going to ruin my life. And he said, I will destroy you. I was very terrified, and I called the police. And the dispatcher said, "There's nothing we can do, it's just a threat."
We don't have the resources to act on every threat that we receive. It's ironic in this case and in many criminal cases, the actual act has to be completed in order to prosecute.
The next morning, I called out sick from work, and I spent the day just checking email, checking Facebook, wondering when the ball was going to drop. Around 2, 3 o'clock, I got an email from eBay congratulating me that my auction had been successfully posted. Apparently, my ex-boyfriend had my password. He had titled it, "The name of my college, English professor, nude CD, woohoo." And so I clicked on the link. There were 88 pictures on the CD. I was naked on the internet. My life as I knew it was over. So I clicked on the link. There were these 4 sample photos, kind of give you a sneak peek. And what made it even worse was that he had posted links to the auction on all 5 of the Facebook pages that the college held. He had written, "Thought you might be interested to see what one of your English professors is up to." I wanted to throw up. And so I had to go to senior administrators at the college, explain what was going on, and ask them to please remove the links and block him. And they were gracious, and they did. And the whole incident was never brought up again. So it was back to eBay. I reported the auction, and the auction came down. And another auction under another username popped up. For the next 3 days, I would play cat and mouse every few hours, reporting these auctions to eBay that kept popping up again and again and again. I had called the police. Well, now it really happened. What can you do? How can you help me? And the guy kind of was like, "What do you mean? There's nothing we can do. He didn't do anything wrong."
In 2010, unfortunately, there wasn't any legislation in Maryland to help her out. The law was a misuse of electronic mail, which only encompassed emails or text messages.
I felt defeat. I felt like I would never see this end. I was waking up every 2, 3 hours. And I would check my email address, my Facebook page, his Facebook page. I would check eBay. I was still doing it a month, 2 months later, almost every night. While I was teaching, I'd give my students a BS writing prompt, and I would check email, and I would check Facebook, and I would check eBay, and I would check email again. I did worry very much if the students knew, if they had seen, if they were talking about it. It was perpetual unrest at that point.
She was totally humiliated, scattered, frightened, having difficulty sleeping, sick, physically sick.
Every day, I would be in fear. The following year, I had received an anonymous email saying that a profile had been created that featured nude pictures of me, and somebody was pretending to be me. So I typed in my name, and the porn website X-Hamster came up, and there were 27 photos of me. There was my full name, the town where I live, the college and campus where I teach, and a solicitation for sex. The profile had been active for 14 days. It had over 3,000 views. There were 23 pages of comments calling me a dirty whore, a worthless slut, comments about men who were going to find and rape me. And my ex was interacting with the people who were writing these comments, pretending to be me. I was terrified. My name, my face, and the town where I live was listed. So the person who wrote the comment, "I will find her and rape her," very well had my address. That person very well was sitting outside of my house as I was reading that, for all I knew. And I was very afraid for my children. It was a level of terror I have never felt before. And then it hit me that this was never going to end. I knew I'd ruined my life. And I knew that the only way to deal with it was to end my life at that point. I knew I'd ruined my life. My children had gone to spend the night at their father's. So I took a couple of anti-anxiety pills, and I got really tired really fast. And I can feel myself sinking. And that's when I said, you know what? I don't want to wake up. And then my mom called. I answered the phone, and I realized she needs me. And my kids needed me also. And I picked up the rest of the pills and closed the bottle. The next morning, I woke up, and this time I was angry. I had to fix it. I started printing screenshots. I printed the main page. I printed all 23 pages of comments, collected everything and put it in a folder, and went straight to the police station. The officer was flipping through this little black book. I'm guessing that it had the Maryland statutes in it. And he's going, "Nothing we can do. No crime has been committed. The law absolutely does not protect victims of online harassment or stalking."
The reason why law enforcement's hands are tied in a lot of these cyber cases is that the laws in that particular state are not up to date with what's happening on the internet. The laws in the state of Maryland were antiquated, and we needed to update the laws.
I just couldn't believe it. I remember thinking to myself, oh, this is wrong. And I said, then I'm going to change the law. And the trooper said, "Anne-Marie, if you can do that, it would make my job a lot easier." I said, well, then that's what I'll do. I'll figure it out.
I have never met any other victims in the 10 years of law enforcement that I've been in that had her tenacity to make real change.
So myself and a group of women worked to form the Cyber Civil Rights Initiative, a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing resources for and educating the public about the dangers of the internet and non-consensual pornography. The CCRI in general has helped close to 5,000 victims, and I can now be an advocate and an activist for people who are in the position I was once in.
There is a split in the United States between states that have criminalized revenge porn and states that haven't. It's thanks in part to the advocacy of Anne Marie and her colleague, Holly Jacobs, that states started passing revenge porn criminal laws.
I did have the power to take this awful situation and use it to help someone else. This began with a Facebook friend request, and it ended with the internet being used as a weapon to destroy me. I couldn't believe anything like this could ever happen to me.
My name is Ashley, and a viral meme turned my life into a nightmare. It was so hard to be dealing with all this hurtful criticism every day and all these harsh comments by everyone. I had to look my best or else people were gonna judge me. I was just broken inside. I think of myself as very outgoing and personable. I love being around people. I never had acne in high school. I started getting more acne when I was around 20 years old. In early January of 2015, I had a friend's birthday party, and I was really excited for it because I was single. I was like, I want to look good, but my skin was breaking out really bad. It was horrible. I thought to contact a friend, Andrea, who was a makeup artist, and I was like, hey, you know, I have an event coming up tonight. Would you be able to do my makeup?
When I first saw Ashley's skin, it did have a lot of inflammation. I was like, well, I have some products that'll work for you.
She took a picture of me before she did my makeup, and then did my makeup, and I felt like I went from like a 2 to a 10 in an hour. It looked amazing. I was so happy. I couldn't even believe it. After Andrea asked, hey, you know, would it be okay if I posted this on my Instagram? I would usually never post a picture of such a bad breakout, but this was for her and her page, and so I let her post it because we didn't have any of the same friends, and I just wanted to help her promote her makeup and the amazing job she had done to my face. The makeover definitely helped me enjoy the party. People were like, she looks great. It made me feel so good. But I had such a good night. 2 months later, I was scrolling down my timeline, and I passed the picture that Andrea had posted. And I realized that Andrea wasn't the one who had made this post. It turns out that this student had reposted it with a caption that said, I don't understand how people can do this, and I can't figure out how to conceal a single pimple on my face. I was like, oh my God. My heart sank. Like, who has seen this, you know? Is it anywhere else? It was one thing that the picture was on Andrea's Instagram account, but now it was open to the public for anyone to see it. I was just shocked and scared.
I would have never thought that one of my pictures that I posted would get so big.
It was picked up by other Twitter accounts. I bet she's cocky with the face she paid for. She gets out of the shower and you're like, bitch, who the f are you? I was really shocked at how aggressive people were. I had no idea that what I already had been experiencing was just the beginning of this horrible situation. I never thought my skin condition would become the topic of conversation among hundreds of thousands of people around the world. And then a Twitter user posted the picture with the caption, "This is why you take a bitch swimming on the first date." That swimming tweet inspired dozens of copycats. It made me feel used and exploited. It was so hard to be dealing with all this hurtful criticism every day and all these harsh comments and judgment by everyone. I could never be so mean towards someone I didn't know.
The internet is a shield. In varying degrees, people feel that they are anonymous and they can do things that they might not otherwise do.
Everything would have been over with, but then this guy, 5 months later, reposted the picture on his Facebook now with the caption of, "This is why I have trust issues, #fake. At least she's hot in makeup, I'd bang that hoe." The comments that were posted in this trust issues meme were horrible. This trust meme had been shared over tens of thousands of times. It was everywhere. I had absolutely no control of even knowing where it had gone.
It was one thing for the strangers to have the absurd comments to say about her, but it was another having people she had gone to school with. Regardless of how confident she is and how strong she is, I knew that it definitely got to her.
I was shopping one day and I looked over and I realized these two men were whispering and kind of staring my way. And as I walked past, I heard one of them say, "Is that her?" And they were kind of like laughing. That was really the first time that I had seen someone talk about me like right in front of my face. Like my stomach dropped. It started to really affect me. I just was assuming everyone was talking about me wherever I went. I felt like I had to live up to looking like the picture every day. I went and bought a lot of makeup. I bought like finishing powder and setting spray that would make my makeup stay for all day. And if I thought like I could see a pimple or if my face was getting red in a certain area, I would put more on. It took all of this makeup, you know, in order for me to feel comfortable in my own skin. I just wanted people's, you know, approval. It was really hard for me to like express my real feelings about how bad it was making me feel because I didn't know who I could talk to about it.
Ashley was just getting crucified by people online. I knew the way it was tearing her down because I could see it just was a totally different Ashley from the one that I knew, and I knew it was directly related to the memes.
My dad said, "Yeah, I posted something on my Facebook and you should read it." The post he did about me, it made me cry when I read it. Anyone fortunate enough to know Ashley knows how beautiful she is inside and out and how big her heart is. I'm so proud to call her my daughter. Those that have said mean things about her picture should look in the mirror first. The fact that my dad, felt this way about me made me, not care about anything. I was just so happy that he said that about me.
I think it was healing for her. But yeah, it did make me, made me feel really good to know that it affected her that way. So that it helped her a little and that she knew that I was supporting her.
I finally realized that I couldn't go on with this and I needed to do something about it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a video. Hi, my name is Ashley Van Pemnich, and this is my picture that went viral. I uploaded my response to my viral meme on YouTube. I used to be entertained by many memes, but when it's actually you and you're dealing with all the harsh comments, it's a whole different story. I don't think people knew I was a real person. You know, they just saw me as a meme. The positive responses to this video made me feel a lot more confident. My video has gotten over 1 million views now on YouTube. I was also invited to speak about my video on several shows.
A before and after photo of the 20-year-old became a mean internet meme.
I mean, I used to, be entertained by memes too, but I realized, those are real people. So my local news decided to interview me, and on the way up there, I was deciding, should I wear makeup or not?
This is Ashley. Thanks so much for being here and joining us.
So I just decided, I'm not gonna wear any makeup.
Be confident in your own skin and be happy with yourself and who you are.
It felt really good just to, go on as myself and not wear makeup. It's reminded me that who cares, and I am beautiful no matter what. I don't need makeup to feel confident in public. You just have to know that when you are online and you're posting things and commenting on things, you are taking your chances. I never imagined that my picture would be